Welcome to Empire Talk. I'm your boy Hakeem Rashad.
And I'm your co-host, Jennifer Pena.
And I'm your other co-host, Rochelle Dowd.
So, how y'all been? Let's do a little catching up.
Catch up. Well, I'm back from New York.
Yes.
It's good to be back in Georgia. It's been very cold in New York, but I told myself, if I can survive the winter in New York, I can survive New York. And so far, it's winning. I'm joking. I'm winning. I have adapted because we're humans are adaptable creatures, and I believe in our power to survive in that way. So I've been wearing earbuds, what's it called, gloves,
Yes.
scarves, triple layers, all, and I'm surviving, guys.
Yeah.
How are you guys?
Well, I feel like time is going really, really fast. So I just really trying to like enjoy each and every moment. And because I know like I tend to, stress out about when I have like big things coming up. And I'm like, you know what? It's going to be perfect. And it always turn out to be great. So I'm just really just trying to be in the moment. Literally.
Okay, let's take a
Yes.
deep breath. We're in the moment now.
Yes.
The present moment.
So, Rochelle.
Yes, welcome.
Right.
This is my first time doing a podcast with you,
Yes,
so I'm
this is
really
my first
excited. And I love your
episode.
fashion. I just want to say that.
Thank you. Yeah,
Such a magic.
I've been good. I've been recovering from some things, but I'm definitely on my way back into modeling and doing everything that I love because I haven't been recently. So I'm just enjoying myself and enjoying this warm weather because it is beautiful outside today.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
76 degrees outside here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
I just have to say that. I'm the weatherman now.
Like I literally be going out the house with a jacket, coat, sleeves, short sleeves. I don't know what to wear. I'm like, seriously, Atlanta. Why are you doing this to us? Like, seriously.
You wear shorts and a jacket. Layers. Take them off, take them on.
Yeah, throughout
The
the
day
day.
progresses, yeah.
Absolutely. And you know what? I can't wait till spring because I'm a spring baby, and when the spring gets here, I feel like okay, I'm blooming just like
Oh my God.
the flowers are.
Me and you both.
Yes.
Yes. May babies.
Right.
You're April, right?
It's
Yeah.
April.
Is that?
I'm a winter
Spring.
baby, but I hate the winter.
Oh. You were born in the wrong month then.
Right.
Winter depression, man.
Oh my God. Speaking of winter depression, I went through that and like no other. And I feel like when I say like no other, I think the pandemic had a twist to it. Because I know I watched the news and that's it. What? I mean, I watched the news a lot and I see a lot of heartbreaking things on there. So especially with what's going on in today's climate, and I feel like when I watch too much, that's when I kind of like I'm already going through my emotions, what I'm feeling. So when I watch that on top of my emotions, I'm like, okay, this is a bit much. I need to take back. I need to, add a little bit more meditation, into my life. And I feel like I need to keep that reminder in my head.
Yeah.
And especially what's going on now with Ukraine.
Absolutely, that's what I was gonna say. And even though it's starting to feel like spring, we are still technically in winter. And this winter depression, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
I've experienced it myself. I don't know it seems like you have too.
Oh, yeah.
But anybody will say that our lives are also aligned with the seasons of the earth. And I've experienced it very hands-on. And right now we're seeing something that for me is unimaginable. War with Ukraine and Russia. I honestly, just like a couple of weeks ago, I was thinking how we don't have wars anymore. How shooting people, seems like so nomadic, so out of the past. And then all of a sudden, we see Russia firing missiles and killing like over 2,000 people in Ukraine. And I'm like, wow, this is still going on. But we're also seeing that it's single-handed, it seems like, right? Mm-hmm. The rest of the world is coming together and they're really showing their support for unity and wanting to stop Russia. I think they just had it recently, like an assembly where they voted, like who's against this, and it was like what, like 100.
Yeah.
All countries except for 5 voted against it, and that gives me some peace of mind that everybody has a common interest in keeping the peace in the world, and it's just, there's always going to be those outliers that want to cause trouble,
Always.
and
Money,
Putin
power.
is one of them, and it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Money and power.
Yes.
Money and power.
is very powerful and dangerous. But I want to say, like, I feel like, the bad is never going to win. So, we're going to just stay optimistic and, send out prayers and well wishes to everyone out there who has suffered a loved one and lost. And, just to hear all these stories. And I want to say technology is out there. Like, yeah, I've been watching some people's, like,
We see
yeah.
it on social media.
Yeah.
Videos
Everything
as they're
live,
happening.
basically.
As they're happening. Like,
Yeah, it's not like we have to wait weeks for a newspaper article to show a little picture. Like we're seeing this live, we're hearing the stories live. Exactly, and I think that's something completely different, and it's making us more aware as it's happening and being more involved in it. Even though, honestly, I feel like we can't do much about it other than share awareness and just be on their side and send good prayers, because at the end of the day, it's just almost like a political decision that has to go on, right? But it's very interesting. to
It
me.
is.
It's happening.
It is. So, but let's get to something very fun. Very
Okay,
fun
let's change
topic.
the
Yeah.
energy, right?
So, Rochelle, what do you have for us?
All right. So we're actually going to talk a little bit today about relationships and like dating people in the industry, the entertainment industry, the modeling industry, everything like that.
Yes.
How exciting!
Entertainment, period.
The entertainment interest. You go first, Akeem. Share your thoughts.
Well, I want to say, as far as ups and downs in the entertainment industry, I want to say, you have to go in it. If it depends, like if you're both already in the industry, I feel like it can have a greater advantage because you're like-minded and you can see that as long as you guys are not competitive towards each other, then I think that would be great. But as far as like if one is an entertainer and one is not, then they could be challenging. The person has to be secure that it's not in the in that field. So I would like to say, just don't date somebody who shows signs that is insecure.
Why do you think in the entertainment business the other person has to be very secure? Is it because you're always like bombarded with other people and like eyes, or yeah?
Because like that the entertainment industry, I feel like it moves fast.
Yeah.
And you meet a lot of people very quickly, and you come in contact with even like I want to say with us as humans, we have a flirty nature. Like, and I don't want to say a certain person's flirty or a certain sign, however, but we all have that. Even if it's a lot of flirty or if it's just like a smile, like
A friendly flirt.
Yeah, like friendly. It don't have to be like, oh, I want to be with you,
Yeah.
flirty, but it's just like boundaries. And I feel like some people who don't go in with a strong mind or a strong foundation, it can be very, very bad.
That's where communication comes in. Like for sure, you gotta set those lines and those boundaries. What are you okay with? What are you not okay with? And if you don't think that you're gonna be able to vibe with that, find somebody else.
Find somebody else.
Find somebody
But
Yes.
it's definitely a hard industry to be in a relationship, and it does depend of whether the two people are already met in the industry. Like for example, you see Beyonce and Jay-Z, right? They're such a strong couple. You see them as a power couple. And sometimes if you date somebody that's already in the industry, maybe they bring them into this green light and they get more recognized. So maybe that's a pro for somebody that's dating somebody in the industry. Or it could completely break them if they're not ready for that recognition, like fame that comes with it, and like all eyes on you. Yeah, it is a lot, absolutely. And like you said, it is very high paced, and I see it, the way that the dance community is very similar to how the other entertainment businesses and like with actors,
Yes.
where you're surrounded. I mean, imagine like you're an artist, people get recognized, and they're like, oh yes, I'm the shit. Oops. And you get to dance with all these people, and some of them are your fans, and they're like, oh my god, you're so amazing. And of course, there's gonna be always new people around you, and again, there's like this nature that we have that it's biological, and you might want to flirt, or maybe like you're switching partners every 3 months, and it happens in the entertainment business. I mean, hello, J-Lo. How many men has she been with?
And the thing is too, I feel like it's harder if you go into it single if you're an entertainer. You kind of like don't know somebody dating you for your name or who you are or who you're surrounded with, or they just genuinely want to be. So I feel like the higher you go, the harder it kind of gets to date or have I don't want to say have a relationship because I feel like it has to be strong. Like it's in my world, I feel like it's not like hard to have a strong relationship in my mind, but that has to match too, and have to be reciprocated.
Imagine getting to the point where you're like, hey, if we're gonna be in a relationship, we have to sign a contract. These are the rules. I'm pretty sure it happens, right?
Wait a minute, that's a good question. Would y'all ever offer somebody that?
A contract?
Yeah.
I mean, if I get to that point, I have to. I think
Yeah, for
just
sure.
for security, right?
Yes,
Right.
and it really is important. And I feel like that would be hard for another person to accept. Like,
It's like a marriage prenup, though. I mean, you can have all this trust in somebody, but honestly, when it comes to the end, you never know what's going to happen. You could be saying the whole time that we're going to do it this way, but when that breakup happens, they could change their mind and flip the script on you.
we don't want
You
that.
lose everything, you know? So protect yourself. Protect yourself for sure.
Oh my God.
Learn from the mistakes of others. Don't wait till it
Yes.
happens to you.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I do also want to say is with dating in the entertainment field, we know it's a lot of people you come in contact with. And I feel like, the entertainer too has to have respect or, some type of comfort where they can compromise with their partner and meet them in the middle. And I mean, it's kind of hard because, there's so many stories that I have heard, and it's very, difficult. But I do feel like it's possible to manage. You just have to be strong.
Gotta be strong.
So, the next subject I want to get into is purpose. So, Jennifer, Rochelle, what is y'all purpose, or what does y'all feel like purpose is in this moment, and where you going?
Rachel can go first.
Okay.
Newbies go first.
Well, I guess starting with just like the basic definition of purpose would be like the reason for your existence, or what is your intent, what are you aiming for? I am here to exist and to have a good time and to hopefully, give people some knowledge or comfort on things that I've experienced that they've probably experienced as well, and they're feeling like alone about it, or they don't know what to do about it. So I feel like I just want to bring awareness to certain things, and I hope that I leave a mark on people in a positive way.
Absolutely.
Um,
I love that.
Yeah, I love it, and I just can't stop looking at your beautiful makeup.
I know,
You're leaving a great
I know.
impact on me right now. I'm like, I should do more colorful things. Wow. Like, I don't know if you can see in the camera, but it's just beautiful.
And
the
manifesting
yellow.
spring.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, the flowers are already blooming in the trees around here. I'm just like, oh, I love when it's like everything's like just pink and beautiful. Oh my
Like
God.
a movie.
Yes. Purpose, though. I like your definition of purpose, and I think every individual has a purpose, and part of your life journey is to figure out what your purpose is in life. And the more that you look within yourself, like the more that you go back to those fundamentals and things that you like as a child, they take you there of what your purpose is, and it's related to those things that bring you alive, the things that you can get lost in and do for hours, the things that give you so much satisfaction. That's related to your purpose, and sometimes we ignore that because we're like, well, that doesn't produce anything.
Yeah.
But it's so wrong. Like, some people can be as happy and find purpose within serving, within volunteering. It doesn't have to generate like $1 million. Like, everybody has a different purpose, and the more that you go within and connect with it, you're able to give out, and eventually you'll get somewhere where that purpose is received by the world. And I feel like us being here and sharing our experience and being artists, it is part of our purpose. And I feel whenever I see artists who are super talented and they're not doing that, I'm like, you're being selfish, because your art is meant to be shared. Like, that's your purpose,
Yes.
and you're just keeping it within.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
no, I love it. Like, I'm just like, I hear you.
I
Like,
haven't thought about like the childhood thing, like the childhood portion of it, and finding the things that you love, because that's definitely resonated in my adult life now, and I haven't
Yeah.
thought about that. So
I know.
I like that.
I immediately thought about Prince and Princess.
Mm.
Like, like when you're little, you like a prince and princess.
No.
And so when you said that, that's what I thought about. Like, in every prince and princess have their own story. And one day want to become a blossom and then become a queen and king.
They're finding Prince
Yes.
Charming. I mean, I'm pretty sure as a child you'd love to dress up and like put on makeup, right? I'm not sure. I'm just
Not so much the
assuming.
makeup, but I love to do like, I'd love to dress up and put on my
Yeah.
mom's clothes. I love to do art and everything
Aw.
that that I love now, I do, but I never thought that I would become a model or anything. I never had that
Wow.
self-esteem or anything
Aw.
until I got here to Georgia, actually. So
Wow.
it's interesting to see. But I always watched like America's Next Top Model and stuff on TV.
I could see you in that show. I used to love that show too. And
I got really excited.
I would wear the big. I was obsessed with heels, and I would walk around the house in heels, and I would do all my chores in heels, and
Yeah.
that was just like my outfit. It would be like pajamas and heels.
And heels.
I was like, I need to practice to be a model, you know? Practice my
Pays
runway
off.
walk.
Definitely pays off. Like, and
What
I
about
want.
yours? What about you? What do you think about purpose?
Okay, I want to define it first. What I feel like it means to me. I feel like purpose is something that we can't run away from, no matter how hard we want to, or even if we go off and get distracted, it's still gonna be in our face and remind us. Even in the closest signs, we walk in and we see something, or you're really in tune with your inner self. You can grasp it like it's just right there in your rear view. And that's what I practiced with my purpose. To be more like I was saying earlier, present. And so even like from a child, I always knew what my purpose was, and I spent a lot of time to myself. And the crazy part about it is like not even my mom was just like, okay, well, you need more friends, and I had one or two friends, but
In
I
your
was
imaginary one? I'm joking.
no, I had like in like the neighborhood down the street, like no, not imaginary friends, but you know what I'm saying?
Sorry, I just watched a scary movie and it was
Okay, so yes, okay, back to purpose. Okay, so as a child, I always knew what my purpose was, and I feel like even when I just sit and watch movies with my family, I used to be acting out every scene, and then I noticed that they used to ask me to do it all the time. And I'm young, I don't really know like what I'm really doing, but I'm just knowing that I'm entertaining everyone, and so I just feel like okay, that's what my purpose is to do, to make people laugh, to entertain. And as I got older, I feel like more of it starting to come to me like okay, I fit more here doing this. And then like even me and Rochelle joked about like modeling in the mall, like, and so it's just like even though it's like I feel like you know what you are here to do, so it's just like do it, and it's right in front of you. And I always have this courage to just go and do it. I was just be really shy to just okay, let the world see who I am. And even when we was talking about earlier about are we oversharing sometimes? And I feel like I do feel like I used to overshare, but I feel like when I start to change my environment, change who I talk to, change who I have in my life, I didn't feel like that no more. I feel like okay, I'm being heard and I'm being seen. And I feel like if you're not feel like you're being heard and seen around people around you, then those are not your people. And you don't want to waste time around the people that's not your people. And I try to keep that instilled, and it does. On the other side of it hurts when you do have to lose someone, but as life goes, you understand why you had to do that. So purpose, that's my purpose. I didn't feel like my poetry style was coming out. Sorry.
Do you guys ever feel
poetic.
like burdened or like anything by the responsibility of your purpose? Do you feel like it ever stresses you out?
Oh,
Oh, absolutely. That's a good one. Oh my God. Like I definitely feel burdened sometimes with my purpose, but that's when I feel like I heard something that Tyler Perry said that dinged to me, and I said I'm gonna use that. He said I'll work for 3 months straight, and then I take that 1 month off to do nothing, to do out what I want to do, because work is important. Yeah, like work is important for us, but we do need to find that time. Okay, like in our schedule, this is what we need for ourselves, and then this is for work. This is for ourselves. This is for work, which I'm trying to practice. Like sometimes, like since I am at the peak of my entrepreneurship, I'm working constantly. So I'm gonna keep doing that till I can get to the point where I can have those breaks, and it's gonna come. And hard work does pay off. But that's why I choose like probably a day or even some hours out of my day to have to myself, or I cut my phone off, or I was like, okay, let me throw my phone over here or put on the charger and, take a break away from social media or just even content. And I saw this meme where this animal pushed a laptop off the floor. And I'm like, okay, I get what you mean because, like, sometimes it can be overbearing and, like, burden.
Yeah,
So,
don't you love the new feature of the iPhone where you could just turn off the notifications, like sleep, focus on,
I love that.
and
I
you
use
can
sleep
time
all
it.
the time.
I never used that. I never
do
used that.
it. Yeah, it turns off your notifications if you're trying to do something and nobody will distract you. Because it's so easy to just see a notification. You're like, what is it? Who is it? Let me respond back. Yes.
That's something I practice. It's
Because
like,
yeah, your
not
purpose
responding.
can be stressful.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the way that I experience it is I'm always battling myself, like, am I doing enough? Like, you're in the process where you're like, I could be doing more. And that's like creating extra stress for yourself when you could just be relaxed and trust the process and trust that you are getting 1% better every day by the actions and by your habits and let everything else unfold rather than, yeah, there's a ton of things that you could be doing better, but just focus on, like Will Smith said, laying this brick as perfectly as possible now because it's the foundation of the wall that you're building. And sometimes I have to remind myself of that, just like focus on what you're doing now and do it perfectly fine. Because as an artist, like, we have like a bazillion thoughts going on at once, and I overstress myself a lot. It's
Always
it's hard.
guessing ourselves.
Yes, and you just have to do it, and you just have to just focus on one
That's a
thing.
good thing. It's a good thing that we're speaking about this because I feel like, what about the people who's watching us from the other side? They think that, in their eyes, sometimes I feel like, okay, we can handle anything, or we don't have emotions, or things don't hurt our feelings, or, we think we're all that, or, sometimes the other side of the artistry, with some people who are looking on the other side don't really see what all we have to take, go through or to get where we are and destined to be, which is our purpose. And it's not always peaches and cream or pretty as you want to say. And I practice a lot to show the ugly too, because like you have positive, you have your negative. I try to show, even like when I'm like frustrated, I make sure that I'm wearing my frustration, even in a good manner way, to still get my point out. And even when I'm sharing my thoughts and opinions on social media, sometimes when I post, I'm like, oh my God, what if they unfollow me? What if somebody like think? I'm like, what, I don't care. Like, because as long as I'm being respectful, I'm not hurting nobody. I'm just speaking on how I know a lot out there feel or can be feeling. Or if not, they can just like who I am, or if not, that's okay. We're not gonna be liked by everybody, and that's okay not to be liked by everybody, because everybody's not for you, and vice versa.
That's very true. A lot of people, I think, they definitely project their insecurities on other people. So when they are judging you, when they are like saying these certain things about you, it's really what they're feeling about themselves, and they just haven't found that confidence that you have as well. So it's like it's not so much about you as it is about them. That's something I've had to tell myself as well.
Absolutely. You can't take it personal when somebody says something to you, because you're like, what are you going through?
Yeah.
And I agree with you, like sometimes behind the screen, like we tend to show the best version of ourselves, like the positives, the success stories. But you're not saying that we cry every day, that we have our breakdowns, and I'm sure all these celebrities, they have that. I mean, that's why we have so many artists who commit suicide. We don't see their dark sides until it happens, but it is there. Everybody experiences. So if you're going through that, you're not alone. Like, I cry almost every day, but then again, I'm extra emotional. But I think as an artist, you are extra sensitive. You are extra emotional because you are able to feel all these feelings. You're an empath, right? And it's a beauty and a curse, I would say. It's great to feel feelings and to feel different emotions in you, but it's so exhausting sometimes as well. I don't know if you experience that as well.
Absolutely. But you say when you cry, like, there's something that is hard for me to do. And I used to think something was wrong with me, like, why can't I cry? Sometimes I used to want to cry. But when I do cry, I cry hard into myself, like in the dark, like when no one's watching and no one like even know if I am crying. So I know that I think probably like when I used to, not I tend to now, but like when I used to handle my emotions when I'm like feeling like bad about something or sad. I tend to kind of like brush it on the rug, and I did it naturally, not knowing that like, okay, I'm brushing the rug till it gets like, you know, like a cup, like it's full, and then that's when I cry, when my cup is full. It's hard.
It just pours over to
yes.
What an analogy.
Right, and since you're speaking of crying, when I first met you, Jennifer, like you like I could say years ago now, you gave me alpha female, so it's like I want to see people's emotions when I first meet them. Like I want to see some emotions, like, and it was hard to see that at first, but you know, as we got to know each other, you know, I seen, and I'm looking like wow, and I feel like we connected so much, and we related a lot too, as well. So it's good that we can, you know, share our journey as artists and share our vulnerable moments with each other, to know we have a support system. And it's good to have a support system, you know, let somebody know that I'm here, you know, because sometimes, you know, we don't have that, or, you know, we can't go to our friends about something because sometimes our friends can be a-holes and, you know, we have to give it to them, and we don't want to go to them for certain things, and, you know, you want that person where you can confide in.
Yeah,
Too,
and
so.
what he's talking about is we've been on the phone and I've cried a lot, right? That's what you're referring to, right?
Yes.
Where you saw my emotions and
Yes.
just cried. Yeah. Thank you for being there.
No
I appreciate
problem.
it.
No problem. And I'm like, I always, you know, say this too all the time. Like, I own my emotions, and I'm an emotional person. And I used to think it was bad. And I used to get called, you know, names for being.
Is
know,
it because you
emotional
were a guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like I couldn't really have emotions. Don't make me, because I'm not trying to. But yes, that's what I feel like I couldn't have emotions like for a long time. So.
Do you feel more comfortable now?
Yes, I'm getting there slowly.
Okay.
Like, I think I'm very far in that, and then I haven't been in a long time. So yeah.
Yeah. I take it now as like
Yes.
I'm just practicing having emotions when I act.
Right.
You have to go through different experiences to be able to tap into those moments whenever you're trying to act. So I'm like, oh, this is good. I'm adding it to my little resume that I can tap into and be like, oh, I want to feel this emotion. Press that button, and it takes you back there.
Right.
So that's what I'm seeing it as. You know.
I think some people struggle with showing their emotions because, like, childhood, of course, brings up a lot, and maybe they weren't ever able to express that emotion, or nobody ever listened. So like, sometimes that's something I struggle with. Is like, I felt like when I was younger, I never had that opportunity to actually voice myself, which is part of the reason I'm so quiet now. Is like, I don't know, I'm trying to grow out of that and really just trying to actually talk openly
Yes.
about my
Yeah.
feelings and everything. Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
I'm so grateful to have you
Yeah.
and practice the
Yes.
scream.
Oh man, I can't scream. I
Scream. I feel like we're talking so loud and
Yes.
she's like so quiet.
Yeah.
Talk loud. I used to be very soft-spoken as well, but you have to let it out.
See, I feel like
You
I'm
have a
loud in my
voice.
head, but other people are like, no, you're quiet. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, then I feel like I'm yelling.
But that's because
Yeah.
but you mentioned why, because growing up you had that you know the I don't know what you said exactly, but you couldn't express yourself,
Yeah.
right? And take this moment, this platform to be able to be whoever you want to be now, because nobody knows you, right? So
True.
you're able to create the image and the persona that you want everybody to see, the real person that you really are. And I think you're already expressing it by like the way you dress and
Dress
the way
with
that you do
gems.
your makeup. And I think this platform gives you a voice as well. So
Yeah.
don't be afraid to say whatever you want. Don't be afraid to be loud, because we're getting louder every day, I think.
As an OG Jennifer, I appreciate you telling a new co-host that, because sometimes I do feel like, you know, as when you're new to anything, you know, you're just getting familiar for it. So when somebody's who already, you know, who done it, and you know, that did not just happen.
This boy did not pause for nonsense.
So yes, sorry you guys. Like, oh, what is going on now?
We take a pause.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're back. It wouldn't be a show without a technical itch.
Or a phone call.
Right? It's an unknown caller.
How rude.
Right? You
How
spam.
rude is that?
But where I was going with that one? I
Oh
gotta.
man.
You were giving
Yeah.
me props
Oh.
or something.
Yes. It's always, good to see that, when you have been somewhere familiar or haven't, and somebody who's coming on new, you can share that great positive feedback to them because, that's just what I love to see. And that's what this platform is all about, supporting each other, uplifting, motivating, and, having great debates. Because like I said, we all don't think the same, we all come from different backgrounds, and that's the whole point of this show, as it is, so someone out there can relate to us. And before we wrap this show up, do you guys want to say anything?
Well, I'm excited for summer, and I can't wait to get some more stuff going.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's time for
good, yeah.
spring.
I was gonna say, but before summer, let's get through spring first.
Yeah, I love spring.
Spring is a blossoming of new things. I think if we're correlated with the seasons, we're gonna blossom
Yes.
into a new layer of skin, to our new selves, and we're gonna go through summer as well and share more of ourselves and be closer to what we want to be, closer to our purpose.
Purpose,
Yes.
exactly.
Wrapping it back.
And that's a wrap, you guys. See you on the next episode.
See you guys. Yay!